Hi, okay. I'll try to show you how I built this thing. First of all, I used a 3-inch ABS pipe with a regular cap on the bottom and a clean out cap at the top. Did the same thing for the bubbler, only I used 1.25 inch pipe. Inserted a 5/16 nipple in the top there, and as you'll see, I inserted another one right from the bottom. Now the inside of the pipe, the container, you'll see I installed a 3-inch stainless steel tubing. The length of that was 6 3/4 inch. You'll notice I put a bolt right here. Now I ground the head almost all off, so there was just barely enough to hold it. And as I said, it's a stainless steel bolt. Everything in these has to be stainless steel, otherwise it will not work. Then inside there goes 3 neutral cylinders, and as you can see from here, I use nylon, 1/4 inch nylon bolts. I spaced the cylinders equally apart using small pieces of wedges and drilled the holes all the way through from both ways. Did that to both ends. That keep use little nylon washers to space them, and then nuts on the inside. Worked out perfectly because I didn't have to shave the nuts or anything. Everything fit perfectly inside the cylinder. And then you'll see I drilled 2 1/4 inch holes here, one about 1 inch from the bottom, one about 2 inches from the top, all the way through, to help the fluid flow through from one cylinder to the other. Now installing it is just as simple as this, and I place it in here, and it just slides all the way down. So now what we have is all these cylinders sitting inside. Then I move over to the cap here. I used the clean out cap, the 1-inch tubing. All I did was I welded a bolt through a stainless steel washer, and then welded the stainless steel washer to the top of this bolt. And then the bolt, I put some, it's called marine goop. I use that to put on top of the bolt, on top of the cylinder actually, before I put the bolt in, to seal everything, and then tightened everything in. And then it's just as simple as taking and sliding this cylinder in, after you add the water of course, and just tighten it down, and then the hose would just attach here. Okay, now I've added the water. You'll notice, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's right at the top of the cylinder, and the best thing to use for that is distilled water. I tried even filtered water. There's still too much iron in it, and it just rusts up the stainless steel really bad. Then you just put about 1 inch, 1.5 inches of water in the bubbler so that it has something to bubble through. That prevents, if there's any possibility of any spark coming back from the engine, that prevents it from getting back into the hydrogen generator and causing a small explosion. Wouldn't be a real huge explosion. It would more likely just blow the hoses off, but be a good sized backfire anyways. Now I'm just going to go ahead and insert the center tube, the center electrode. And tighten it down. Okay, as you see, I got the caps both on, inserted the hose here, so now the gas can come out down this line, through the bubbler, back up, out this tube, and there's a tube that goes to the intake, as you'll see in my next video. Okay, now I guess what I'm going to do here is set up my charger so you can actually see it working. Okay, I'm back. As you'll see, I got my charger set up. Now it's not as good as a battery, but it suffices. Now I've got everything hooked up. I've got the positive hooked up at the top and the negative cable over here. As you can see, the water levels right there, and you'll see what happens as soon as I turn the power on the charger. It disappears. It's being pushed down from the gases. And if you look inside, you'll see it bubbling. It's kind of hard to see in the camera. There we go. You'll see it's bubbling like crazy. That's the gases being produced. Now, at startup like this, when the juice is cold, it doesn't produce as much. You can see it's bubbling, but not as good as once it gets hot. Once it gets hot, it'll really produce. But now, if you look at the multimeter here, right now it's only pulling about 6 amps. Generally speaking, normally this unit will pull about 23 to 25 amps. Sometimes it'll settle down to about 17, 18. But right now we're only pulling 6. So that's pretty much it. That's how it works.